let me, there we go, it's recording. I have some really exciting news. So I know I had mentioned a time or two ago that we were talking about merging teams. I wasn't sure what was going on with that, and then you haven't heard anything else. So we are merging teams with 2 other teams, and so that is going to be launching March 1st officially. So instead of all these crazy files and groups and everybody's doing all these things, it's going to be merged. We are going to have access to like 2 other leaders and their information, and we are actually working on collaborating and creating like a way easier system to bring new coaches on, to do trainings, to run challenge groups, all that good stuff. So right now we're in the works of just kind of getting everything sorted out, but March 1st is the official launch of this. So we've created this team page. It's going to take a lot of stress off you guys. I think it's going to be really exciting. You're going to be able to meet way more new coaches. We're going to be part of a bigger network, like a bigger team. So there's going to be new coaches coming in. There's going to be more coaches at your level that you are going to engage with and be able to team up with. There's going to be access to like weekly coach opportunity calls that you can invite to. There's going to be access to challenge group sneak peeks. There's access to lifetime group just like normal. And just like a lot of cool stuff. So I think it's going to be really exciting. We are officially called Team Level Up. So it's just Level Up. We will have a logo and everything. But anyway, so I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be so cool. So one of the leaders is Chelsea Weemat. She is an elite coach. She's a mom. And then the other one is Kendra McMurphy. She runs the challenge groups with me. So some of you guys might know her already. But I'm really excited. So I think you guys should be pumped. Like there's going to be a ton of new trainings and tools. It's going to be way cleaner. We're working on making a team page that's functionable for new coaches coming in, not like this crazy where there's files and files and files and files for days. So we're really working at making it just like user-friendly and fun. So any questions on that, make sure to reach out to me, whatever. But you'll see me announce it in the team page and the link to join in and join the new team page. So you'll probably see the banner on my team page like closed or we've moved, something like that. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be something good. I think it's going to connect us. It's going to help us bond. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to kick off the call with that. And then secondly, my notes just disappeared. I was on a roll. I don't know where they went. I'll remember in a minute. Okay, so Brittany requested that we talk about free groups, where to put people if they are kind of like maybes or people that are not quite ready to make the commitment into a challenge group. So I thought it was a good topic. I didn't really have a huge topic planned for tonight, so I was like, why not just dive into that? So if you guys have things to add, feel free to put in the comments. I know Carrie does a lot of stuff too with like, you know, following up and stuff and have people like to gain trust. So Carrie, I know I would ask you to like share in the comments as we're chatting, you know, if you have any input, or like I'll ask you at the end too. So if anybody has something, chime in. I think it's a great call. I think it's a great topic because we all have these groups, right? Like I'm telling you guys, run free groups, like give value, add value to people's lives, add friends, you know, get them involved in these free groups. And then you're like, okay, what do I do with them, right? Like, what do I do with these people, right? Not everybody in your free group, whether you have 10 people in a free group or 50 or 100 or 200, not everybody, maybe only one person from that group signs up for a challenge pack at the end of your free group, right? So what do you do with them? I have a free lifetime group, right? It's called Clean Eating. Like it's nothing special, nothing crazy. I don't even post in there that much unless I'm like on a whim, like making a shake or a treat or hot tea, or I go live and I decide to share it to that group. But it has a sample meal plan in it. It's grown to about 1,000 people. And I just offer it as an option for somebody that's like not quite ready to commit to a challenge pack. So I have something to give them where it's not just like, oh, you don't want to buy something from me, and then you stop talking, right? Like it's just a very simple group where I've taken my, you know, free groups and I've loaded in maybe a meal plan to this group. It's just called Clean Eating. You can call it whatever you want. Even if you've ran a clean eating group and you just decide, I'm going to keep this as my lifetime group, right? So there's no requirements to be in the group. There's no purchase required. All I ask is that they not spam or sell anything. So if they're with a different company, and I have that in my guidelines and my rules, I just have a pinned post, and it's like, you know, like any other group that might be like, no network marketers, no blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just a really simple post. So I think some of you might be in my clean eating group, but you can go just search clean eating, or I can share that too of what it says. But it's pretty simple. It just says introduce yourself, and, you know, in the files, you can find a free clean eating meal plan. I share a grocery list. And then in the files, there's just some recipe tabs. I haven't shared recipes in a really long time, but I used to like once weekly put in, you know, recipes that I found. Just I would search Pinterest and add a recipe once a week. Very simple little things that didn't take a lot of time, but it just kind of created this sense of community. And I had a place for somebody that wasn't quite ready to commit to a challenge, but they saw that I was investing in people regardless of them buying something from me. So, and it was a place where I knew, like, if I'm trying to, you know, create a new challenge group, I can post in there because it's my group. I can post like, hey guys, I'm hosting a 30-day boot camp, right? So I might not spam people in that group with it, but, you know, maybe once a month or once every other month, I might pop in there and be like, if anybody's interested in some more dialed in actual plan, you know, one of my upcoming boot camps, I'd love to chat with you. You know, so just a call to action in there, here and there. But add value in that group where you want to. You know, you could post every day. You can find quotes on Pinterest. You can, you know, take little things. Just don't give all of yourself to that group, right? It's not an investment like somebody's going to make a challenge pack investment and want your daily support in a challenge group. So remember, you don't have to give everything away, right? Not everything has to be given away for free. So you can have a free group, and you don't have to give your whole self as a coach and be like, at the end of the day, like, oh my gosh, this group is exhausting. I have nothing left to give, right? You don't want to give away your whole challenge group or your whole boot camp for free. So it can be just that. It's a free group, right? You've created this sense of community and people are looking to get healthy, and that's great. Give them a sample meal plan, share recipes here and there. If you go live on your page sharing about a recipe you like, I know Carrie cooks all the time. You know, if she wanted to go and like click share and share into her clean eating group and be like, I just went live with my favorite meatloaf or how to cook salmon, right? Like sharing tips. It's nothing that you have to, like, it's just sharing what you're already doing, like the posts that you're making already, the workouts that you're already doing. You're sharing for accountability and support for somebody that might not be quite ready, but they're going to keep seeing you pop up a little bit more. So that way you have a space for them instead of just writing them off or them getting lost in the shuffle. So they can see you still, they see you being present. And then if you run a free new group, you know, the next month you can be like, hey, I'm running like a squat challenge, or I'm running a water challenge, or I'm running whatever type of group it is. And you can share in that free group always. Just have it constantly running for anybody that's not quite ready. And then also those people in that group, you're going to have, it's going to say members, right? If you're stuck on who to invite to a challenge group, go to members, jog your memory of like, oh my gosh, that girl was going to join and it totally slipped my mind. She just was waiting on, you know, a new job, or she was waiting on figuring out daycare, or she's figuring out, you know, whatever, taxes. I totally forgot to follow up with her. So it'll jog your memory of like, you know, and people are asking now to be part of my group, like, and I'll friend them and I'll send them a message and I'm like, thanks for showing interest in my clean eating group. You can find some stuff in the files. I'm excited to hear your goals. Like I send them a simple message. So that's a way to really connect them to you and keep them invested. Another thing is you can just tell them that they can create a free membership with you as their coach, right? So you can send them your link or beachbodycoach.com/your username. And then they can create a free account so they don't get lost. And then if they on their own go order anything, if they're like, oh my gosh, I've been so inspired. Like how many times do we get that message? I know Carrie and Angela and I have talked about this before. We're like, somebody messaged me and they bought it off the Beachbody site, right? Like, and you don't get the commissions, even though they're like, I'm so inspired by you and I went and bought whatever. I'm like, oh, but you didn't buy it through me, like, right? So that's frustrating, and then you have to be that salesy, tacky person, like, actually, can I have that order number? Like, let me get you switched over, right? So to avoid that, just have them go create a free account. Be like, I would love to be your coach. You know, whether it's an investment financially right now that you can't, you know, make that investment, I would love to add you to my free group, and you can create an account with me as your coach. So whenever you're ready for that, you know, added support or you want more from me, I'm here and you know where to find me. So that's a very simple way. You just send them to your account or your website, and they can create a free Beachbody account, and it assigns their info to you as their coach. So anytime in the future, even if you get disconnected, if they unfriend you on Facebook and they're like, this girl is too obnoxiously positive, right? Whatever it is. If they are watching an infomercial one night and they're like, I'm going to go, blah, 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 their account is not sent to a random coach. It's linked to you, okay? So that's one thing that's really great, is just making sure as you're putting through your pipeline and you're adding all these people and you're running these free groups, to not let anyone slip through the cracks, because you're constantly getting them set up with you as their coach, right? And you're clicking them into a support system, and you're giving something of value, and then you're making sure to follow up with them. And they're always constantly seeing your face, right? Like you're sharing posts from your personal page. So your page and your posts are popping up in their newsfeed because they're part of this group that you're the admin of. They're seeing your posts. So they're always going to remember you're the person that's active. You're the person that's doing this stuff. And when they're ready, they're going to know where to go, right? They're not going to go seek out somebody for help or like, oh, I need a trainer. They're going to be like, oh, that Angela girl, that Stacy girl, right? They're doing that program. I want to try that. Like, they've been invested. They've been doing it. They asked me about that one time. I'm going to reach out and see what they can do for me, right? They're going to try the diet pills. They're going to do the reps. They're going to do all the things. And then they're going to not have progress. And then they're going to come to you and be like, hey, so I think I really want to do that, right? Might be a year from now. Might be never. But it doesn't hurt you in any way to add them to a group that has a free clean eating meal plan, right? It connects them to you more. They see your stuff. You don't have to add 5 hours a day of like giving yourself to this group, right? You just share casually like, oh, I just read this book. I really, really enjoyed it. How's everybody's week going? Very simple, right? And I might not show up for my group in that clean eating group for another week or so. Like, I am not committed to posting in there daily. I'm not committed to running things in that group. It simply is like, and then people will pop up and ask questions, and then I'm right on it, right? Like, I'm answering questions. So it's really just a place of community of like, I know all these people have talked to me. They weren't ready to commit. Boom, right? I have a place for them. So it's not something that I run like crazy amounts of time or pour a bunch of energy into, but it is a place to put them where I'm like, I can give them something when they respond to me, and they've, you know, I've broken down the cost and we've really talked about what their options are and their goals, and it really just doesn't seem like the right timing. I'm never going to pressure anybody or make somebody purchase it, because those challengers suck the life out of you. Like, I want them to be ready, right? Like, it feels way better. So I'm like, it seems like now is not the right time. Maybe, you know, jumping into my free group right now, I have, you know, a clean eating group. It's a lifetime group. You know, there's not as much pressure. It's not quite as, you know, fast paced. But it'll get you some ideas. I'd love for you to be in there and make me your coach, and we'll go from there. And that's an easy way to kind of get out of the weird, like, icky, like, that's fine. Give them an out. You don't have to like make it weird. Do you think it would be a good idea to do it with someone else on the team or just myself? Totally up to you. The only thing you would want to do is be tracking who's adding people in. I know my group now, I have people like just request to join it. Like, people probably search now. You know how we search like, you can search networking groups or dog groups. People probably search clean eating or healthy eating, and my group pops up and they request to join it. So that's a way I also add to my network. So if you're running it with somebody, totally fine. I was running mine with a coach who's not even on our team anymore. When I first got started, we started it as a free 7-day clean eating group. And I just added, I think one free clean eating group, I added like 400 people or 300 people. And I was like, dang, I don't want to just shut this down. Like, there's so much potential in here. So I just kept it going. And that girl, you know, ended up not coaching. She canceled her account. So it was fine. Like, I just kept running it. So it's totally up to you. Just make sure you have some sort of way that you guys are going to track or divide up, or, you know, just obviously we're not out to like get each other's customers. So I would never be like, you know, coach poaching or grabbing somebody that I'm like, oh, I know Brittany added. So that's totally up to you. I think it's fun to run things together. The free clean eating weeks and free squat challenges. It's fun to have 2 people to do it and split the workload. I think that's awesome. So totally up to you. There's no right or wrong answer for that. You would just, if you have a success partner or somebody that you're really vibing with, be like, hey, I'd love to run a group with you. So yeah, totally up to you. And then as you grow and you kind of get to the point where you're like, maybe I want to branch off, that's fine too. You know, like, it was great. We ran this group. Now I'm going to probably do something different. Like, I have my own team page. Now I'm merging with people. Like there's no right or wrong answer, guys. And that's what I love about coaching is there's not like one way to do it, right? Like some people would say it's crazy to merge teams, right? But there's a lot of coaches that are doing it. I'm like, I didn't even know people were doing this. Like, this is a great idea. I love it, right? So there's no like Beachbody corporate isn't down our throat. It's like, you can't do that. You have to do all the work yourself. There's no dividing of the team. Like, no, like there's no rules. So if you want to run a group together and you're vibing with a coach and like, hey, let's do this together. Let's, share a meal plan and both, pick a day of the week that we're going to pop in live and see how people are doing. Awesome. I think that's great. Anything you guys want to add? Any questions? No questions? Nothing? Everybody's silent. Okay. Another thing that I was going to bring up is I made a file in our team page. So yes, we're merging teams, but you guys are all on here right now. So Shelly Hobbs did a video. Shelly Hobbs is a coach under Anita. So we're like kind of the same tier, whatever you want to call it. But she did a video on like talking to people and inviting. And I think some people are really confused on inviting and like how to have conversations. So watch that video. If you have not watched that video, go watch that video. It is in the file. It's the top file right now. It says scripts of what to say when. And then it says clarity on inviting. And there's a link to a YouTube video with Shelly. And it's about, I think it's 37 minutes long. So give yourself some time this weekend and watch that. And then below it, I shared a lot of scripts of like what I say when. So I know you guys are like, okay, so if somebody friends me, what should I say? Or if I send a friend request, should I say something to them, right? If you have a fitness page or a like page, what do I say when somebody likes my pictures, right? So that kind of thing. It's kind of like a big file of just kind of responses I say. And that's also from Shelly. So I've kind of adapted it. It obviously has my name, so you would want to change it to your name. But I think it's really helpful. Don't overcomplicate what you say to people. Don't overstimulate them with too much information. Just like I think of Stacy, because Stacy's like in the health industry, right? Like she's a nurse, like she has a lot of information, but she's not going to go into a conversation with somebody that might just be starting out with nutrition and bog them down with the ingredient list of Shakeology, right? Like it would be too much. And I don't know who watched the Shakeology surge, but I was like information overload, like super pumped, but I'm not going to go into a new conversation and unload all of that information onto one person, right? Like it's too much information. So sometimes holding back information and keeping it simple, like I don't have to explain to somebody that's signing up, say somebody's signing up for the discount as a discount coach. I don't have to explain the ins and outs of next year when you're diamond and you're going to have this fee and you're going to have 100 PV, but don't worry, like, right? That doesn't make sense. It wouldn't mean anything to them. Then they're going to get scared, right? So same thing when you're signing up a challenger, you keep it very simple. You share why you started, you connect them with what their goals are, with why this is going to work for them, right? So you listen, you ask questions, you give them a little background of where you're at, and then you connect them to something that's going to work for them and why this is a good fit for them. And you keep going back to their reasons of why they want to do this and their goals. So I constantly reaffirm, like when I'm using my script, I constantly am changing it to, I think this would be perfect for you because X, Y, and Z, whatever they've told me their goals are, right? I think this program would be awesome for you because you mentioned that eating is a really big challenge for you. And this is going to get you the breakdown and the simplicity of things, and you aren't going to be doing that calorie thing you were doing and like depriving yourself of food and then you were skipping meals, right? Like if it's somebody that's really struggling with nutrition, I'm going to really hammer in, like this is going to help you because of X, Y, and Z, the exact reasons they told me that they're struggling or needing help. And I turn it around and I say, this is why you need it. And I tell them why based on the goals that they've given me. If it's weight that they're struggling with, or I'm sure, like, I'm trying to think, if it's weight they're trying to put on, this is going to help you because it's going to simplify your eating and you're not going to have to think about it and over stress about it, right? So somebody that had eating disorders, Like, I get that's a hard thing sometimes. Like, people are like, I just don't eat, and then I binge, and then I don't eat. And I'm like, this is going to help you just break that cycle of like emotional non-eating, right? So I can connect people to their why when I'm bringing up a challenge pack, right? I can tell them Shakeology is good for them because of X, Y, and Z, their exact goals. You are short on time. You're tired because kids are up all the time. You have a job that's demanding. You have a high, a big work schedule or school schedule. You're up in the morning trying to go to the gym and just don't have time for breakfast, right? You always just go back to why they are wanting to work on their fitness and health. What is it they're struggling with the most? And you place it back into the script of when you come back at them with, I think this would be great for you. You're going to get a full year of support. I'm going to be there helping you. We're going to break it down. We're going to find foods that you like. Shakeology is going to help you with those times that you're telling me you're skipping meals and then you're going home and binging on Oreos. I was there, right? And then you relate it back to yourself and you ask another question and you say, how does that sound? Is that going to help you with those, goals that you're working on? Is that going to help you, do you think, in the process of getting a better, healthier lifestyle because of, your eating habits right now? You always bring it back to what their focus is, what they're wanting to achieve, and what their biggest struggles are. And it connects them emotionally with you. So when you're having a conversation, if I was like, Carrie, you really need this because, I needed it. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. She'd be like, well, I'm really glad you needed it. Like, maybe she didn't struggle with postpartum depression, right? Like, maybe she's not even a mom. So if I was like, you really need this because I had postpartum depression and now I'm not struggling with that and I'm not on medication. And maybe she's like, I was never on medication. I don't even have kids. Like, but if I'm like, Carrie, you really need this because you mentioned that you're working 70 hours a week and then you're coming home and you are so hungry that you don't want to cook and you don't have time to cook. So you just grab the package of Oreos and you go binge watch Netflix, right? So I'm like, this is going to really help you with that goal because Shakeology is going to cut those cravings down. And we're going to help you learn how to meal prep so that your weeks are successful without having the hassle of like cooking every night. Because I feel ya, girl, like you're tired. You don't want to go home and cook. So we're going to work on like ways you can get around that and like actually fuel your body with nutrition, right? You see how I invited her in with sharing about her goals and why this is good for her instead of sharing my needs or like why I need it. Like, it might not be the same. So make sure you're asking questions and listening to what their needs are and turning it around and responding with what their goals are and saying why it's going to help them, why it's going to be of value to them, right? Because it can always be of value. There's always a reason why it's going to be of value to their goals, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, busy schedule, kids, they just want to feel better. They're tired. They're struggling with energy. They're struggling with breakouts in their skin or, depression, whatever. They feel alone. They keep falling off the wagon because they joined a gym and, their kids are all over the place and they are sick of like spending hours at a gym. They don't even know what they're doing. And, so you could always bring it back to why they aren't being successful in those goals, why they haven't gotten there, right? And you remind them they haven't gotten there before because they haven't had the right support. They haven't had the right tools. They haven't had the right setting, right? And you tell them why this is going to help them because you're going to hold their hand. They're not going to be alone. They're going to have accountability because you're going to be checking in and being like, hey, what's up? You're going to give them those sample meal plans so that they're not failing and feeling stuck. They're not going to count calories or feel deprived, right? They're still going to get treats. They're still going to have fun. And now with the All Access, you hate your program, great. Let's find something different. Let's find something that you do love, right? Easy. Okay, so having those conversations and breaking down what their goals are and why they want to achieve those goals and then turning it around and making it like, this is why this is going to be so impactful and work for you because I work on helping women find a lifestyle that's balanced and healthy for them, not a quick fix. Like I've never talked to any of you guys on this call, whether you've been my specifically, downline coach or not, I've never told you like, well, you should probably just cut out carbs and just get skinny already, right? Like, what? It wouldn't make sense. We always talk about this is a journey. I always post about like, I'm not just going to be fit one day and then stop, right? Like I don't have like a finish line. I always have my next goal. I always have a new thing that I'm working towards. Right now, I'm pretty happy with my body, but does that mean I just stop working out? No, because it's my coping mechanism for depression. Like it gives me endorphins. It keeps me happy. I don't work out and eat healthy because I want to get skinnier or fitter. Like, sure, everybody wants to look better. Like, maybe I want to firm up my butt, like little things, but like, it's really about this lifestyle that I've ingrained in my head of like, this keeps me like going. It keeps me happy, right? And people start seeing that and feeling that in the conversations of like, I'm not in it to help you drop 20 pounds tomorrow. I am in it for the long run to really help you be successful at these goals, even if it takes baby steps and you're terrified to death of starting a workout and nutrition plan and drinking shakes and you're scared to drink meals and all this stuff. Great. Let's get you in a challenge group and we're just going to start with step 1. Can you drink shakes for a week, right? Add that to your goal sheet. Great. Step 2, can you do the 10-minute trainer in the back off in your bod? 10 minutes every night. Can you commit to that? Like whatever the person needs to get there, everybody's different, right? I have a lot of girls where I'm like, well, this girl's gonna be way overwhelmed with like trying to do like the 21-day ultimate reset. She says she wants a cleanse, but like no way is she anywhere near doing the reset, right? So maybe the better step is like, hey, let's try a 3-day cleanse and get you doing the 21-day fix and see how your nutrition goes and how your goals are. Maybe you don't even need the cleanse, right? So really, really diving into somebody's needs and taking you out of the equation and say, what can I really do to help this person? And they'll feel that. Do they sign up for a challenge pack tomorrow? Not always. But they know that you've really broken it down and want to help them achieve the goals that they have. So they'll remember, and when they're ready, they'll be invested, right? Because you invested in them. So whether it's that free group that you add them to, or they create a free player membership, or they sign up for a workout program, it is not your job to sell them on the most expensive thing. It is not your job to sell them something that they don't need to get a commission. Beachbody coaching and the income is way bigger than a commission check next week, okay? So remember that. It might only be $30 that you make this month, but if you trust this process and you're finding 3 to 5 new people and you're willing to put in the work every month, it grows. So you don't have to base your success or base your business off the one person this is not right now, or like, I don't want to do the challenge, right? Like you don't have to do that, and you don't have to put that stress on yourself. Is that like, people do want this and people are following you and people will come around. So don't base it off the 1 or 5 or 10 or 50 people that say no. Base it off the one person that trusts and believes in you this month that's like, I'm invested, I'm ready. And then believe that your journey and what you're sharing and what you're saying to people is enough to build a business. If you gut check yourself tonight and say, am I doing all the vital behaviors? Am I having conversations? Am I putting value out on my page? Am I doing what I'm asking my challengers to do? Am I showing up in my team? Am I showing up in my boot camp or my challenge group? Whatever you call it, right? And if I'm doing those things and I'm fueling my brain with personal development, then yeah, check the boxes off and be like, I'm doing the things. If you're falling short somewhere, like you're not finding 3 challengers a month, you probably just need to talk to more people. At the beginning of my business, I was talking to like lists of people. Like I couldn't even keep it straight. I was like, I don't even know who Jolene is, right? Like, I don't even know who that person is. I was talking till I was blue in the face to find the people that wanted my help. Like I was just ready to find them. And what I was doing was building this pipeline of people that like, I don't even remember talking to you, but now you're coming to me 6 months later saying you've been following me, right? Like that's the beauty of this is I don't have to be right there when you're ready because you remember me and you come to me because I've done all the things, the necessary steps for you to not be able to miss me. I am like the bulldozer, the like bull in a china shop. Like you're not going to forget where to find me, right? So maybe I've planted all those seeds. I continue to plant. I don't stop to harvest like the crop. I just keep planting seeds. I just keep going. And then the people start to come because they trust you. And you've had those conversations and you've checked in with them and you've given them value. And you've made it about them and not about you and a small commission, right? The commissions are great. I love that I can pay my Shakeology off with a commission. the all access, $70, that's nothing to sneeze at. But think of this as something bigger. Like, did you join Beachbody to get a $70 commission check, or did you join Beachbody because you're like, that's freaking fantastic that I could like retire myself from my job long-term goal of a year or two down the road. Carrie, did it take you how many months till you quit your job?
5 to 6 months.
Right. So Carrie didn't sign up and then a week later go, Bree, I've only made $70. Like, I'm not going to be able to quit my job. But she trusted the process, right? She didn't know when that number like was going to happen, but then she started to see the compound and she was like, crap, like I can actually do this. For me, same thing. And now I'm like, okay, let's make a plan. Let's see the bigger goal of like Aaron quitting his job, right? It's been done. So just know that it's more than just a commission, or like when you look up your online office on Thursdays and you're like, oh, only $20, $0, right? I'm not making anything. This business doesn't work. Just remember that it's more than that every Thursday paycheck commission check. When you first get started, it's about planting seeds and growing it. When you start hitting Success Club, you start finding those 3 consistently a month, just knowing that's what's going to grow your business. And you're just utterly consistent in that. It might take you a year, it might take you 2 years, 3 years, but you will have planted enough seeds that you will find your team starts to grow. You will find that volume starts to grow because people start trusting and seeing the value in sticking around, right? So hopefully this was helpful. Brittany, I kind of touched on your topic. I hope that answered your question a little bit. And then just kind of talked about inviting and just kind of going through the value of it. Because honestly, if you're not giving value and you're really in a conversation to be like, they are not going to buy, I'm checked out. Then they check out. Like they are just checked out. Like this girl doesn't care about me. She's not really listening to me. And then I said, I can't afford it. And then she stopped responding. That person is going to be like, they don't really care. Like I said, no, I can't buy it. Now that I can't buy it, they're not talking to me. So she said she cared about my goals, but now what, right? So don't be that icky person. Don't be that network marketer that we're all really turned off by. I don't know how many times a day I get a message from somebody that I don't know that's like, hey, Bree, I don't know if you've ever seen my blah, blah, blah. I think you'd make a perfect like representative on my team. And I'm like, I don't know if you've seen anything about my page, but I work for a company from home. Like, no, thank you. So like, get to know a person. Don't spam them. Don't sell them on anything, right? Get them to want it so bad that you don't have to sell them on it. Let this be their only answer and their only option left, even if they've gone and bought something else or tried something else. Don't look at that as a failure. Look at that as like, okay, you can test the waters. I mean, if you're given the option of a pond, a lake, or the ocean, right? You might not see the ocean because you might be a mile away, so maybe you get in the lake. But then somebody says there's an ocean down the street, like, yeah, duh. Are you going to go down to the beach or what? Like, so let them try different things, right? And then let them know that, like, you're still over here doing this thing that works, right? Simple. So be consistent in your own journey. Be consistent in sharing that every freaking day. Like, I've been seeing Stacy post like every single day. Guess what she is doing? She's building affinity. Facebook only shows your posts to so many of your friends each day. But the fact that I see Stacy's post like first in my newsfeed is saying something. It means that Facebook's like, we better pay attention to her. People are liking her posts. People like, I'm noticing her like post her own stuff. They like videos. Facebook likes video. Facebook likes pictures that are being liked and commented on. So guess what? I didn't always see Stacy's stuff, but all of a sudden, I'm seeing Stacy's posts every single day. So that tells me something. She's being consistent in her own journey. And guess what? I'm not the only one seeing it. If I'm seeing it, it means all of her other friends are seeing it, right? So she's doing that daily consistency. Same thing with all of you girls. I see your stuff more and more. I'll see a coach pop up. I'm like, ooh, they're doing something right. Like, they're posting. I see Angela in some like sexy leather pants. I'm like, she's been posting well this week. Like, right? I see Carrie all the time. Like, oh, Carrie's live. So just know you're not doing that for nothing. Just because not everybody comments and likes your picture every single day, know that you're creating something, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And those people aren't going to trust you overnight. The ones that take time are sometimes the best to stick around and wait for. I know leaders on my team, I am so glad I didn't quit, because I wouldn't have known what this team could be if I quit in my first year. I didn't have anybody on this team. Like, everybody that's on this team is not from my first year. My first 2 emeralds that got me to diamond, not here. But I do have an amazing group of people that trust me, that trust each other, that we are a more strongly connected team because I kept putting in that trust into people and letting them trust me and trusting the process of, like, this does work and you do find the right people. But if I had quit that first year saying, I'm sick of just fighting for a commission, right? I saw the bigger picture of it's not just about the commission, it's about the people behind it. That the ones that are coming are the ones that are building trust for me, and then they're going to fully commit because they're going to see the process and see me over time doing this and be like, you just did it. I've been watching you for 1.5 years. You haven't gone anywhere. I want to do that too. And then they see that it's not an overnight thing, but they're going to stick around because they know exactly what I just went through and they just watched it, right? So they're willing to invest and do the same thing. So that is in fact how you grow a team, right? You have little stepping stones, and you might sign challengers for a full year and be like, what am I doing wrong? Nobody's participating. Nobody's doing anything. But you're planting seeds, right? You don't know what challenger that might not be very good in your challenge groups, but maybe they're getting something out of it and they have a friend that needs to be your next coach, right? Or your neighbor down the street is going to see whatever next post about a workout and be interested, and tell their friend who's looking for a workout program, be like, there's this girl, blah, 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 you should add her, right? All the time I get that now. I didn't at first. My first year was like me, like adding friends, messaging them, like, come on guys, like join my group. Now it's like, hey, yeah, no, somebody said like to follow you and I've been following you for 1 year. I'm like, oh, sweet. That doesn't happen overnight. Somebody can't follow you for 1 year if you've only been a coach for a week, right? So make sure you're putting in that consistency and trust the process. Trust that people are watching, whether they want to admit it or not. I mean, we have a cool, like Jordan Ogden. She like literally lives 2 blocks from me. She unfollowed me. She unfriended me. She's like, I couldn't stand your positivity. And guess who's an Emerald coach on our team now, right? I love her, but I didn't push her. She unfriended me, then she refriended me. Now, like, we knew each other back in like drinking days, party days. Now we have kids, and she unfriended me because I'm too positive. And then she was like, maybe I want some of that. Like, what is she doing, right? Carrie, I always say that, like, came around, right? But it wasn't overnight. So just remember that the people that you want in your business aren't the ones that are jumping on it and being like, oh, yeah, like, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow, right? It's worth waiting for. It's a good investment to have, to be trusting the process. All right, enough for tonight. Any other questions? Hopefully this was a helpful call. I'm really excited about merging our teams, guys. Like, I feel an energy. I feel like it's going to be good. I think it's going to be so fun to have like more people that are invested in this business as partners and friends and just doing things together. Good, Stacy, I'm glad. I know everybody's muted, and I kind of have like this weird voice tonight. I don't know what's going on with my tonsils, so sorry I sound like blah. But no, do I not? I feel like I was talking to Aaron on the phone earlier, and he's like, what is wrong with you? Is Penelope holding your throat? I'm like, no. I'm like, do I sound, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Carrie, do you know when team calls will be? No, we do not have times for things nailed down just yet, but when we launch the team page, things will be like laid out, and you will be getting a message from me tonight, actually, Carrie and Angela, about some more of this, since you guys are leaders on the team. So you guys will all be informed and filled in as we kind of figure it out. I think just having one team call and one thing, we're going to be getting elite coaches talking on our team calls. It's not just me like burning Success Club into your brains every week, right? So we're going to have access to more, coaches' ideas and other people on our calls. So that I do not know yet, but we have another Zoom call, me and Chelsea and Kendra on Sunday after we nail down we've been working on a really good, simple challenge group outline. So any coach can take it and run with it and use it and team up with another coach and use it. So that's what we've been doing right now. And then Sunday we're going to do a Zoom call and really hone in the team page and get it all set up. So that should help with some times and things too. One step at a time. I try to overachieve and then we get nothing done. So we're like, let's nail one thing at a time. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for hopping on. I will post the recording up on YouTube. It's been taking a really long time to post, so it might not be up till tomorrow, but once the link is there, I will post it in the team page. Bye, guys.